Sorry about that. I had to clear some space on my camera. That night, young Emery stared out his window. Past the newly built tower, a hawk circled lazily in the sky. Suddenly, the hawk swooped down, landing on his window ledge. Hawks thought as if the hawk could read this. Then away the hawk flew. Mountains, valleys, hillside, forests gave way beneath the hawk's wings, till far off, far off in the distance, it spied thousands of flickering lights coming up from the south, as if in a dream. Emery saw these things too, emerging from his vision, turned from the window, and went downstairs. He found King Vortigern by the foot of the tower. I have seen a vision, that your fate is linked with the red dragons, Emery's cried. You will be attacked by thousands of soldiers under the white dragon's flag, attacked and slain. Vortigern drew his sword, angry enough to kill the boy for such insolence. But at that very moment, a lookout atop the tower shouted, Soldiers, my lord, thousands of them. Well, that's short. Vortigern raced to the top of the tower stairs and stared across the valley. It was true, and as he watched further, one of the knights leading the army urged his horse forward and raced along the tower foot, shouting, Come and meet your fate, murderous Vortigern. Vortigern turned to his own men. Defend me, defend my tower. But when they saw the numbers against them, the men all deserted. Surrender, Vortigern cried 1,000 voices. Never, he called back. Never. The old wizard stopped speaking. Well, Arthur asked. What happened to Vortigern? You cannot end a story there. Merlin looked at him carefully. What do you think happened? Vortigern was slain just as Emery said. Is that the boy speaking? Asked the wizard. Or the king? The boy admitted Arthur. A king should forgive his enemies and make his chiefest friends. You taught me that, Merlin. But what did happen? The men of the White Dragon defeated Vortigern all right, burned him up in his own tower, and that night the one who rode up to the tower was what became of him. His name was Uther Pendragon, and eventually became the High King. Merlin said. Uther, mused Arthur, he was the last High King before me. But then he was a hero. He was fit to rule, perhaps. One of the sons will come to claim my throne. Uther had only one son, Merlin, and only one son. Merlin said softly, though only I knew of it. He looked steadily at the boy. That son was you, Arthur. Me? For a moment, Arthur's voice squeaked. Under was my father? Then I'm not fatherless. Then I am king by right, and not just because I pulled sword from the stone. Merlin shook his head. Don't underestimate real strength in pulling that sword, Merlin cautioned. It took true worthy king to do what you did. Arthur gave a deep sigh. Why did you not tell me this before? The old wizard's hawk eyes opened wide. I could not tell you until you were ready. There are rules for prophets, just as there are rules for kings. So now I am king in truth. Merlin smiled. You were always king in truth. Only you doubted it, so you can thank your dreams for waking you up. What of Emery's? Arthur asked. What happened to him? Oh, he's still around, replied the wizard. Went on dreaming, made a career of it. He rummaged around in some old boxes and crates by the desk until he found what he was looking for. I still have this saved in all this time. He tossed a large yellow dragon's tooth across to Arthur. Sudden recognition dawned on Arthur's face. You? You saved this? You were the boy named Emery's? Surely you guessed that before, Merlin teased. But now perhaps we can both go back to sleep. Thank you, Merlin, Arthur said. I don't think I shall dream any more bad dreams. Merlin's gnarled fingers caged the boy's hand for a moment. But you shall dream, he said quietly. Great men dream great dreams. I have dreamed your greatness, he plucked the crown from the desktop. Don't forget this. My Lord King. Arthur took the crown and placed it carefully on his head, then went out the door and down the tower stairs. Merlin watched for a moment more, then sank back down in his chair, closing his eyes. He fell immediately to sleep, dreaming of knights and the Round Table. The end.